Okay, so it's telling me I have a poor connection. I'm not quite sure why that is, but I'm going to hopefully be able to make this apple crumble here live. I usually don't appear live, so it's a new one for me. I'm going to start off by peeling my apples. Now, I'm not ready to use the apples, but I want to peel them before I'm ready. That way I don't have to wait for them when I am ready for them. So what I'm going to do is I have a bowl here of water, and I'm just going to take some lemon juice, and I'm just going to pour it in there. That way the apples don't churn that brownish color that I don't like. So we're just going to pour that in there. So then we're going to slice up the apples. Now, if there's anybody in here that wants to, I don't know, chat or whatever, I definitely would enjoy that. So I'm just going to start slicing up my apples, or peeling them anyway. And I washed everything before I went live. That way you just didn't have to wait for me to do that. I'm not sure why it's saying poor connection. I'm in my kitchen. I'm using my home internet. Now, how you slice up your apples completely depends on what you prefer. I'm going to change that angle once I start making the rest of the ingredients here. Okay, so I'm just going to slice them, because I like mine sliced kind of like that. Doesn't matter what size, whatever size you like. And however many apples you want to use, that depends on how much apple crumble you want to make. So I'm just going to place them in the bowl here, and that way they don't churn brown before I'm ready to use them. So the things you'll need for this recipe are, you're going to need some rolled oats, you're going to need some white sugar, you're going to need some flour, you're going to need some baking soda and baking powder, you're going to need some cinnamon, you're going to need some brown sugar, of course you're going to need some apples, and you're going to need some melted butter, half a cup, and you're going to need half a cup of water. The flour, you're going to need 1 tablespoon as well as 1 cup. The white sugar, you're going to need 1 cup. The brown sugar, you're going to need 1 cup. The cinnamon, you're going to need 1 tablespoon. Then you're going to need a cup of white sugar. So after I have these apples peeled and sliced up, what I'm going to need to do then is I'm going to take a cup of white sugar and a tablespoon of flour and a tablespoon of cinnamon, and we're going to mix it together. And then once we have the slices of apples in the baking dish, we're going to sprinkle that over the apples. And we're going to add the water in, and then we'll make the crumble. And if you don't get bored of me by then, we'll do it together. I definitely am new to this live thing, so you have to bear with me here. I just, one of my friends who has a YouTube channel, they go live, and they said they enjoyed it, and it was a great experience, and so far almost everything has been a great experience for me on YouTube. So I thought, why not? Doesn't show me how many people are here. I hope that means I'm connected. And everybody's so quiet, so I have no way of knowing. Hopefully. Hopefully somebody's watching. If not, what would be the point of putting videos on, right? watch a lot of different channels on here. There's so many great creators. And like, I don't even know what a big channel or a little channel is. Everybody thinks that, like when I talk to other people on forums that create channels and stuff, they think that I'm great with the numbers I have right now, which I think that anything more than 1 is perfect, because that means I'm not watching myself. That's what that means. Or at least I'm not watching myself alone. I appreciate each and every person who watches my channel and subscribes and leaves comments and lets me be part of their day or whatever the case might be. I think that's wonderful. I probably know more people from YouTube now than I do from my actual like daily life, because I go to school with 20 people, right? And that 20 people stays the same 20 people that I dealt with for the last year. Like, you get to meet people in the workforce, but as far as like the people you talk to, the people you communicate with, I'd have to say like it's a lot of my subscribers that I've been communicating with over the last few years, as I've been going through so many like transitions in my life. But that's what life's about. It's about meeting new circles and having new people and whatever else might pop up. So I have a measuring bowl over there. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to peel 2 more apples, because I'm not going to make a big crumble for myself, because as everybody knows, I'm definitely trying to eat healthy and moderation on sweets and stuff, which is really hard, especially when you have a sweet tooth, but you have to do what you have to do, especially if you want to be around in another 20 years, right? We all struggle with that, though. I'm sure I'm not the only one. That's what I like about YouTube, too, is the motivation and the support system that seems to be out there. Like, you can chat with people who've been down the same road that you've been down, or you can basically like get to know people and find out what works and what doesn't work, and exactly why it didn't work. Like, for what, because for something that might work for somebody else might not work for the next person. So it's good to have that conversation with other people that are out there trying to do the same things you're trying to do and making a go out of it. Because that's really all I am, is I'm just typical middle-aged woman just trying to make a go at life the best way I know how. I really try to bring good into people's life. I get up every day and I think, what can I do, to make somebody else's life better? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not like one of those people that aren't, enjoying life themselves, because I really am. I enjoy my life. I enjoy where it's going. And I definitely don't even regret the places it's been. Nope. It's all building blocks into the people we become, right? So you have to preheat the oven to 350 when you make this. And then you have to bake it for 45 minutes. So the prep time's about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to stay live while I'm cooking it, because chances are you'll get bored of me by then. Okay, so we'll just put the apples there. That should be enough for now. I have to put that in a bowl. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the bowl there, and we're going to mix our sugar in, which I already pre-measured out just because I thought it might be a little quicker. And here is our 1 tablespoon of flour, all-purpose flour. And now we're going to do 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon. I love the smell of cinnamon. I remember as a child, we used to have it on our toast. Who hasn't had cinnamon and sugar on toast with butter? It's an absolute divine treat of childhood, I'm sure. And I'm not gonna lie, once in a while, when the urge strikes, I still eat it like that. It just takes you back. That's probably why I need to go on a diet. All these take back moments. So I'm just gonna mix that up a little bit. It looks nice once it's mixed. I need a new whisk. My whisk, I don't know what happened to it, but it's not even fit to be used. I have to throw it out and get a new one. I don't know what happened to it. Chances are, somebody left it in something. Okay, so we want to make sure all those little clumps are out. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to take those away, those peelings. Just get a bowl for them. And remember to compost. So just going to get rid of this. It's still pretty quiet. Might be because of the connection. It's saying I have poor connection. I don't want to churn it off because I don't know if I'll have to start over with another video, and there's nothing worse than when you're watching somebody's video and then it switches to another video, which is kind of stupid. I hate that. It kind of annoys me, actually. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to grab a slotted spoon to take those out of the water there. So I'm just going to grab that. It's still saying poor connection, but it says I'm connected, so you're going to want to put these in a baking dish, which I have right here. Oh, and I dropped my camera. That was funny. See, bloopers happen all the time. Here's my dish I'm going to use. Now we're just going to lay them out like that. It's funny, I dropped the camera. It happens though. See, normally I could edit and take that stuff away, and my viewers would never see my little blurps like that. That's one thing I don't like about live. You can't erase your bloopers. I leave them in a lot of my videos though, so I guess I can't pretend that I don't really like them, because I don't really care. You can't really blooper your life out, right? If funny stuff happens, it happens. Okay, so now we have the apples in here. And now we're going to sprinkle on half that mixture because I'm going to do a couple more apples and put them on the top. So I'm just going to use half the mixture. And I'm just going to sprinkle it like that. I love apple crumble. It's so good. Even making it smells great. And then we have our half a cup of water. And we're going to sprinkle half of it on. And then we're going to cut up a couple more apples here. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why that dropped. Hopefully it doesn't do that again, and if it does, I apologize. But in order to make this video, I had to like tape my phone onto this little tiny little tripod, and in order to have it, the camera stick out, I basically had to like tape it. There, now I have it with the camera weighted down, so it should stay like that. So, just give me a second here. Just gonna peel some apples right quick. And then we'll sprinkle the rest of that mixture. So it says I've been online for 16 minutes. Now the prep time for the recipe says it's 35 minutes long, so I anticipate it being on for about that long. Maybe I might stay on, who knows? Depends. So when is the last time you had apple crumble? My grandmother used to cook a lot of these recipes that I use. I have like a whole stack of cookbooks that are like super old. There's nothing better than when you like have things that you used to have as a child. Especially if you're able to like make the recipe taste just like whoever used to make it. I like the fact that my window's open and I can hear the neighborhood children playing. That's what life's about, right? It's about those moments in life where you can like sit and enjoy life. And I'm pretty well enjoying it. I just about to graduate from my school, which is pretty awesome because 3-4 years ago when I was power smoking cigarettes daily and you know, kind of not really hanging out, and I had gotten a car accident, I had PTSD, I kind of stuck to the house, and like, I came a long way. I was so unhappy with life, and I thought to myself, why am I unhappy? And I realized it was all the things that I was doing nothing to change. I was like complaining about life, but I wasn't doing anything about it. So I quit smoking, which was a big accomplishment for me because I smoked, probably 3 packs a day, maybe on my worst. On the best, probably 2 packs a day. And I quit smoking, and then I realized I could breathe again because when you smoke that much, you really can't breathe. And I was like, oh, well, now that I can breathe, what am I going to do with myself? And I was like, oh, you know what I'm going to do with myself? I'm going to join a gym. So I joined a gym. After I started walking, of course, because I had to walk just to be able to like walk into a gym because I was so terribly out of shape from either the smoking or the whole, hiding in the house or whatever the case might be. And so I started walking daily, and I love to walk. I'm not going to lie, when I first started doing it, I hated it. It was like the worst thing ever. It's like when I made the switch from like soda to water, because I drink a massive amount of water. But when I made the switch and I went to water, I thought it was the grossest stuff ever. Now I actually prefer it. It's like somebody says, oh, what would you like to drink? And you say water, they look at you like you have 10 heads, right? Like, and you're like, no, it's good, I like water. And you have to actually like justify to people that you like water because they're like, ooh, water, yuck. Like, how boring, right? But like, when I don't drink water now, my body feels it. So then I started going to the gym. I wasn't smoking, I could breathe, and I was like, I'm getting into a better head frame. Like my headspace is like a complete different place. Like I'm enjoying life, everything's great. I'm not depressed. My family's wonderful. Like everything is going good. So I was like, why not go back to school? Like I didn't graduate. I was like, I never even went to high school. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Why not? So I enrolled in like adult high school, which for me was like, holy, I can't believe I'm in adult high school. Most of the people there were in their 20s, and I'm pushing close to 40, so I was like, oh, this should be interesting. But I stuck it out. I really did. And then, as anybody who's been watching my channel knows, that I got myself a $5,000 bursary for college, so I was able to take my program, which I work with people with disabilities, either physical or intellectual or mental, and I really enjoy that. I enjoy, working with that environment. It's just something I always wanted to do, and with having, my children who both have disabilities, it just was a no-brainer for me. It was like, that's just what I need to do. So that's what I did. So I finished school. I graduated on the 16th of June. Of course, I'm going to add a video of that because that's what I do. And so we're going to add this rest of the mixture on. And we're going to sprinkle it over just like that. So once I graduate, I'm going to have to look for a job. I had planned to travel this summer, but now that I'm, a college graduate, I might work. That's what the rest of the folks do. So I might not get to travel this summer, which, that's fine. I don't mind. I'd rather work anyway. But I might not be able to produce very many videos. So still love me, still support my page, understand why I might be busy. Okay, so we have all the mixture on there. So now we're going to make the crumble. And to make the crumble, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to add a cup of rolled oats, which I have right here. I'm going to open them up. I reuse containers because I'm a cheap ass, and I always have a lot of baking supplies that are always more than cupboards can hold. So I like to reuse containers. So I'm going to add a cup of rolled oats. Make a mess while I'm doing it. See, I get to edit all this stuff out when I do my little videos when it's not live. All these things that I don't like other people seeing. So we have our rolled oats. We're going to need a cup of brown sugar. We're going to need half a cup of melted butter, which is right here. We're going to need a cup of flour. Which I have right here. Now we need a cup of brown sugar. We need to put in some baking powder and baking soda. Where did I do it with my teaspoon? Looks like I'm going to have to grab one. Oh my. So we need to add in our, oh, hello from Texas, how you doing? So we need to add in our teaspoon of baking powder, then a teaspoon of baking soda. We're making apple crumble. So here's the baking soda. Oh, it's so messy in my kitchen right now. No, I'm just kidding. It's not even that bad. It's just the containers have their lids open. Okay, so now we just need a cup of brown sugar. So I'm just going to grab that. Okay. I hate how brown sugar gets so dried out and gross. Okay, so here's the brown sugar. So I'm just going to mix up this crumble here with my fork because my ladle is holding down the camera for it doesn't fall over again, which is pretty funny. And you're just going to clump out those clumps. You're not going to want those in your crumble. Brown sugar clumps, yuck. I wish I didn't have to see the word poor connection. I wish I could see if there's people viewing here. I know there's one person from Texas. So once we mix this up, we're just going to sprinkle it over the apples, and then we're going to bake it for 45 minutes at 350. An apple crumble is delicious. Now, of course, I'm making stir fry for supper, but I'm not going to do that live. I'm just going to make the stir fry. I have piles of videos of me making different stir fries. I make a lot of stir fries. I'm just going to crunch out those. They're pretty hard. I might just take them right out. It's been a while since I did any bacon. Stir fry sounds really good. Yeah, it is. I love stir fry. And I could eat it with like any kind of meat. I could eat it with pork, chicken, doesn't matter, beef. That was another change I made once I started like taking better care of myself, was I eat better. And when I say I eat better, I eat more stir fries, more salads. Like, I could eat a salad every day. In fact, I'm probably sure I do almost probably 5 days a week I eat salad. I love salad. There we go. That should be mixed up enough. The water that I still have left will moisten that up, I'm sure, when it bakes in the oven. So, let's get this ready. I'll tell you, it wasn't as easy as I thought going live. There were so many things I had to like focus on that I didn't think I would have to, like the angle, how I was going to hold the camera, because if you're using your phone, because that's the only device I can go live with, you have to basically like hold it, right? So I have it taped to something, which is funny. I should have made a video. Okay, so we're just going to sprinkle this over the apples. Then I have to clean this mess, and I almost dropped the camera yet again. I caught it this time. That's not enjoyable. Okay, so here's the rest of the water. We're going to sprinkle the crumble on. Beautiful. So we're going to carry this over to the oven, which I already have preheated. And then we put it in the oven for 45 minutes. We're going to set the timer. I would be lost without timers. I would really forget everything I was doing. I really would. So there's 45 minutes. Perfect. And now we're going back over to my table, which is a wreck with ingredients. And now we're going to clean up this mess, because if anybody knows me, they know I don't like that. I do not like clutter and mess. So it's going to be 45 minutes in the oven. So I could clean the mess, or actually, you know what? My phone's saying low battery. How sweet. Okay. Let's throw the charger in. I'm just trying to see if it'll like let me charge it. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Now hopefully the camera stays and it doesn't fall over. My cookbook's behind me, my diet chart. I belong here. There we go. So is there anyone still watching, or? It says I'm live for 33 minutes. I always hate appearing in my own videos. I don't know why, I just do. Oh my. It should be kind of food am I eating on my diet? Well, I take 2 shakes in the morning, like one for dinner, one for, and that's a meal replacement shake. It's one for dinner, one for breakfast, and then I eat usually like portion control meat, which is the size of my hand, and a salad. That's preferably what I eat. Sometimes with like my work placement and stuff, for the last few weeks that wasn't quite possible, but I'll do an update of my video, or the update of that project in the back. It started off as a school project. It was a behavior modification project, because how can you expect to change somebody else's behavior if you're not willing to do a self-reflection behavior? So I did that, and then I was like, well, the project's over, but why not continue it? So that's what I did. So I continued it. My phone's charging now. Thank God. It was like almost dead. I find being live or doing anything with your phone takes a lot of power, and it dies really quick. That's probably another reason why I haven't went live, but I had to like charge it while I was like doing it, and I had to figure out angles for the camera. It's not as easy as people think. So that's going to cook for 45 minutes. Oh, I love apple crumble. I should probably end the chat or whatever and start cleaning that mess since there's not too many people in here. Enjoy your day.